Hey, young man, wake up. Look up at the sky and identify the clouds. Have your own plan or become a part of somebody else's. Predict the future. To put it in more simpler terms, never overstay your welcome.
Yo, yo, yo. It's a lovely Sunday out, and we're here to film Installment 3 of The Great Expression. I'm your host, Westside JJ, and today's co-host will be none other than, you can introduce yourself. You can introduce, I like when the co-host introduces themselves, so.
Yeah, man. I'm Brazz, father, husband, actor, personality, community activist. Yeah, man, Brazz.
Brazz. And I
man.
first was introduced to Brazz by a podcast, a Fresno podcast that I watch. Jerry Kelly, shout out to Jerry Kelly.
My man, JKP. Sir, yo.
You know, I ran into your social media. I think I ran into your social media prior to that. Just,
Okay.
you know, you shoot a lot of branding Instagram reels with you and your family.
Yes, sir.
So I was like, okay, this is a dope dude. Then being at Cocky's, running into you at Cocky's, just kind of met, like, not necessarily even met, just like, oh, what's up, bro? Oh,
Yep. Dapped up, you know what I'm saying?
went about our business. And then I was like, okay, so as I'm starting this new journey in my life with The Great Expression, you were one of the guests that I wanted on.
Oh, thank you,
And
brother.
now that we're in Installment 3, Brazz is here. And tell the people more about some of the things you've done without saying too much, because I want to ask some of the questions, but
Okay.
some of the things you've done in while broadcasting and acting and etc.
Man, it's weird because I feel like I've done so much, but at the same time I haven't done enough. Let's see. Started out in New York a little bit. Did some stuff in New York. My wife and I we moved back to California in 2019, and since then we've just been partnering with brands. I started acting full time back then as well. Now I'm a full time actor, voiceover actor, model, personality, MC. My wife, she does amazing content creation, content directing. So that's a part of our business as well. And then our son, who's almost 4 years old, he's also integrated into that as well. So we do a lot of brand partnerships in the family realm, and then on the acting realm, I'm doing some partners.
Okay, is that how you bonded when you first met her? Like, you had
no.
mutual interests as far as like.
We met via a mutual friend. And at the time, I was already done with Fresno State. She was in her last semester, and we just kind of bonded over just like talking. We like I really she spoke so well. I remember the first time I met her, she had a solid ass handshake, and she spoke so like well and intelligently. I was like, let's just talk more. Like I like how you talk. And back then I wasn't really into talking too much and conversing, but like she caught my eye, man, and my ear, and so we got to talking. And fast forward, we started talking and and dating, and she's like, hey, I'm not staying in Fresno long. I just want to let you know that I'm actually trying to move out of here. I was like, oh, okay. I was very much West Coast, like, I was like, all right, well, I'm going to LA and do this broadcasting thing. And she's like, okay, I'm actually moving to New York. I was like, oh. I was like, well, hey, do your New York thing, come back, and we'll see how this thing goes. And fast forward, I was like, you know what? I'm moving to New York too. So I sold everything. I sold my car. I sold my my fridge. I sold my couch. I was like, I'm moving with you, man. And call it love, call it ambition. And I just knew that us together was a solid connect and a solid energy, man. And
Yeah, that's
so,
dope.
yeah,
That's hella dope.
yeah,
I mean,
grateful.
I run into that a lot dating. Whereas women, sometimes I run into women and you can tell like they don't want to be in Fresno for too long.
Yeah.
Like black people, especially black women, they want to see more black men. Whereas black men and not you date your woman's her nationality.
German and Native American, yeah. Chicago.
Right.
Yeah.
So as black men, we're more than comfortable with going outside of our race and dating. Whereas black women sometimes are like,
Hesitant, yeah.
so in Fresno, you have a small black bubble
Definitely.
to choose from. So I think a lot of women are like, you know what? I didn't ran through this dating
To
scene.
venture out.
There's probably not a ton of opportunity in general. I want to go to the South or go other places, right? So I've dated women who I can tell that, oh, she don't even want to be here. And some have left and went on. So it's dope that you actually like stuck it
man.
out.
Yeah.
And you moved to New York, and you almost you went and sought after the marriage. You
Yeah,
didn't just
yeah.
say like, oh, you in New York, I'm
Right.
in California. It's
See how it goes.
it's plenty of fish out here. I can
Exactly.
find someone out here. You went across the country
Yeah.
to New York in the name of love.
Yeah, yeah, it really was love, which is so crazy that to leave with love and to leave with love as well, and to get there and we had the jobs that we had was pretty freaking dope, man, because it just kind of aligned. Everything just kind of it made sense.
Yeah.
So it made my move like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to be here.
Okay, so that's dope. Like I'm gonna get into the moment, the viral moment, and this, and usually when we go through all the time when we do this, it segues into a conversation. And before I get too far ahead of myself, I want to get into this because this has to do with what we're talking about now. And you had to catch a flight. Did you fly to New York when you moved?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I flew there, but then we came back 2 months later and then drove her car from my parents' house in Bakersfield to New York.
Okay,
Had,
so
like, a road trip. Yeah.
recently there's been a plethora of plane crashes.
A lot.
And a lot of people are
Not funny.
are afraid to fly.
Yeah.
There was the Delta. Was that the Delta that flipped over? The Delta airline flipped over. Everyone survived. All 80 people survived. And I have a couple flights set up for myself within these next couple months. I have no fear. I'm all in.
Yeah.
All in. I have no fear. I'm gonna make it there, and I'm gonna make it back safely.
Yes,
right.
sir.
So without talking about that too much, because I'm super interested in this conversation, I'm gonna segue that into being afraid to fly. I'm gonna use that metaphorically to where people see maybe the negativity, the negative that can happen, instead of the benefit of taking the risk and being afraid to fly. Fly being like being successful or going after something, going after a dream, going after a woman, putting yourself in a vulnerable position or something that might be uncomfortable. Like some people are called on to do a public speech and then they might back out because they're afraid of the criticism. They're afraid of the viewers, the people looking at them. They don't want to sound stupid.
Yep.
So they're afraid to fly. They don't want to go after that job or that dream because they're afraid to fly. They're afraid. Some people are afraid of success even because they know what it brings. It brings obligations now. It's like the pressure, pressure that it brings, and people depend on you now. So you being an actor, you're an actor. You've worked in news. You've worked for the Breakfast Club.
I did. Yep.
You worked for the Breakfast Club. You've worked radio, right? 90.7 Fresno State.
Oh dang, yeah, man.
90.7, and I brought that up because I was watching I watched your interview with Jerry Kelly, and I think your mom suggested that you go into radio, and you said you have a stuttering problem.
I do, yeah.
And
man.
I can't notice it now.
Oh, I'm glad. Good.
But so sometimes deficiencies can cause people not to do something.
Definitely.
Somebody might feel like, oh, I don't want to go talk to this girl because I'm overweight.
Yeah.
She might think I'm fat.
Yeah.
So that the confidence stopped. His confidence alone stopped him from even having the opportunity to meet this woman. She might actually like guys.
Not knowing.
So the confidence alone stopped him. He stopped himself.
Exactly,
Self-sabotage. So you having, like I said, I can't tell that you stutter. I mean, we chopped it up in here for about 30 minutes before, and I didn't get any signs of it. I got two really good friends that stutter.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, and they're some of the funniest guys I know.
And they can't get a word out, huh?
Nah, they can talk. They talk, but they
tell.
I guess they worked on it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You work on it,
your
you're
whole
improved.
life, man. Yeah, you have to.
So, like back to being afraid to fly, like what went into you, what thought process went into you saying, you know what, I'm moving to New York. I'm gonna quit my job at Playboy.
Yeah.
Did you quit your job or did you get fired?
Nah, I quit. And it wasn't specifically Playboy. I worked for a company called Encompass Digital Media. And so what we did was, if you're familiar with like Master Control, we have monitoring. So we have a lot of screens that we monitor. And one of my clients that I had at the time was Playboy. And if you know what Playboy is, you can imagine what I was watching for 8-9 hours a night, making sure that their content was
legit.
It sounds so crazy. Every time I tell this story, man, I can't believe that I worked for this for like a year and a half, and that led me to working for Revolt TV at the Breakfast Club, which is so crazy. What made, I guess your question was like, how was I able to like, fly or,
Yeah.
jump? So I remember, and this was actually like, I was in a crazy depressed time at this time in my life. Cause again, the job I had, I didn't want, what I was interviewing for and what I actually got were two different things. I worked overnights as well. So I was working from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And again, that's my first overnight job. And I'm like, I don't know what type of lifestyle this is to go home and the whole world's awake and you're like exhausted. You gotta go to sleep. But one night I was at work and I was just kind of scrolling, during my break, whatever. And I came across this clip from Steve Harvey. I'll never forget this. And I'm pretty sure now it's a famous clip. He's talking in the camera and like right before he gets into like his I don't know, pricey ass car, whatever, Rolls Royce, whatever. But he was telling the camera, he's like, in order to succeed, you have to jump. And I remember like I kept rewinding this because again, I'm at my job at the time. It was a dark room and I'm sad. And the clip was in order to succeed, you have to jump. And I remember thinking like how scary that is, sometimes. And he was talking about, sometimes the parachute won't open right away. Sometimes you're gonna hit them rocks. And I'm just thinking like, I know what he means by this. Like you have to do things scared, but you have to do them anyway. And that's literally what made me realize like, I don't want to be here. Like I want to be with my lady who's in New York going through her internship. I don't, California, there's family and friends here, but there's no, as of right now in 2013, there was no future at that time. So I knew I had to make a decision to better my life and be with my lady, man. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna go to New York with nothing but clothes.
You didn't have a job opportunity?
Not when I decided to quit my job. I didn't get a job until 3 days before I moved to New York. Mind you, I already put in my 2-week notice at work. I was going anyway. I was gonna go out there, suit and tie. It's New York. I'm gonna find a job. I'm gonna be in a bodega, a bar, or something. But I'm gonna do something, man. So literally, the executive producer on the other end of that, who became my boss at Revolt, one of our clients that I got to kind of segue into from Playboy was Revolt TV. Because they had just came out, they had just gotten the Breakfast Club, so we would monitor them, bring them in. And I got talking. I was like, "Hey man, can I call you after the this show, random show?" He's like, "Yeah man, sounds good. Call me." And I was like, "Hey, I'm planning on moving there with my girlfriend. You guys have any openings at Revolt? Maybe for whatever." He was like, "We'll see. I'll give you a call." Time goes by. Literally 3 days before I'm moving, he calls me. Like a half job interview. He was like, "Hey man, you're hired. Can you be here Monday?" I was like, "I'm actually moving there, so yeah, I'll see you Monday." Bro, it was the craziest experience to experience that off of the clip where I just saw you have to jump. I'm like, damn, am I about to work with the Breakfast Club? Like,
that's crazy.
Like the real.
And you work directly with the trio.
I was up in Envy's house with him and Gia and the kids at one point, just kicking it, working. Some of the things that I experienced, bro, I still look back and be like, that was me. Like that was me living in that time. Like that was me talking to Kendrick Lamar, like just like this, like just like he did his interview and we're just chit chatting about me seeing him in Fresno at the fairgrounds. And,
I got a story about that show too.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I can't wait to hear.
Look,
bro.
I bought tickets to that show because at that time he was already my favorite rapper.
Same, bro. He had ADHD.
I was seeing someone at the time. I lived with this woman, and my car had my transmission went out maybe like 2 weeks prior, so I didn't have a car, and I was trying to I'm gonna be honest, I was trying to go with this other girl. On some
He was like,
and she knew I lived with somebody, but she would kind of test the water sometimes, and I don't think she was willing to be like, "Oh, I'm not trying to be with you at the fair."
Yeah, it's kind of.
And so I just sold my tickets. They were cheap too. They're like $20.
They were cheap, bro. Yes,
they were $20, and I sold them to one of my homies from my neighborhood, and he gave them to his daughter or something went. But I regret not going. I'm going actually when they go to they're going to SoFi in May.
Oh, okay, dope.
Him and SZA.
Yep.
I bought. I'm not selling those tickets.
Good job, yeah. Bro.
I could probably make some money selling them.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because I got them at the retail price, but I'm not. I'm gonna keep them.
Keep them tickets, bro. I haven't seen Kendrick Lamar perform since the fairgrounds, but that was so special to me. Just I got in. Shout out to my boy Killer B Brian, man. He at the time worked at B95. So he got us in, you know, with the tickets, and we actually got in with our media badges from KC24. So we used our like news badges to get in for free, as far as free parking. Snuck in Jack and Coke, and was like front row, bro. Like literally, like, and I'm looking around like no one's here. Does no one understand who's on stage? And the fact that we all knew back then who this was on stage was crazy.
Yeah.
Fast forward now, he's, you know,
like one of the biggest rap artists
I mean,
in general in the world.
K Dot, man, is a revolutionary, bro. He's far beyond his years.
When you got around those people, was there any like sign of nervousness or like?
Oh, for sure. Oh yeah. I mean, after a while, it just became, these are people. You know, these are just regular ass people who happen to be in a position of fame or, you know, fortune. I mean, because, you know, I've met everybody, from rappers to, you know, millionaires to politicians, and at times it was surreal because some people you would meet, you just knew them from like back in the day, wherever, you know, experience, you know, either your iPod or watching them, you know, in a movie. So it was, at times it was surreal, but it was like also like, you know, talking to people like Kendrick and Big Sean and Mac Miller even. These people were so down to earth. You're like, yeah, I know this dude. You know, I could talk to this guy over a beer, over coffee, just because of how cool he was. So it was good to meet the people who were as cool as you would hope they were. Mm-hmm. But the people who weren't as cool as you would hope they were, that's when it became like, oh damn, I can't listen to you anymore because now I know who you are.
Now it's just work.
Real.
It's just real work, exactly. And it's not like no perks.
Nope, and not even a perk, man. It was just the blessing of being able to talk to some of these people face to face and not just hear their music or see them on TV. But like now I'm like, oh, I know you kind of personally now, or rather, you know, I think the word, but just, you know, knowing you better now than just over some music. You know
yeah.
So yeah,
you see, like it translates.
Right.
It's not just some artist, and then you come in here and you like do the total opposite of what your music is entailing.
Like Wiz Khalifa was mad, bro. I'm talking, gave me a cup of Khalifa Kush. Like I roll home on the subway, bro. I had that shit tucked away, man. I said, man, I got the real KK. It's not even out yet, bro. I went back to Jersey, my apartment, and I'm like, oh, this is Wiz Khalifa. I was hyped, bro. It was a good time.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So as an actor, how do you take criticism? Like, do you receive, like, on set? Does the director say, "No, Brazz, do that again. That was terrible"? Have you ever faced any?
I've never heard those words or even that type of energy come my way, but there has been feedback. So again, as someone who stutters, there's certain lines or certain word phrases that will trip me up, and so I have to kind of alter the script a bit. Mm-hmm. So if the director isn't cool with me doing that, I'll have to explain like, hey, you know, I feel you. Can I just alter like these two so I can just get out so that it's clear?
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to jumble over some words, trying to not stutter, but also deliver your line. But most directors have been cool, man. Like I haven't encountered, you know, knock on wood, too many people who are in their, you know, too much in their, you know, in their ego to not let the actor be the actor.
Right.
Most times you're like, hey, Brazz, you know, do your thing. I love that. I love being able to do the script, but also take different takes where I can, you know, kind of.
So you can have the criticism, the potential of being criticized hasn't stopped you.
Nah, man.
From doing anything.
Nah, I would say not anything. Because, you know, just again, as someone who stutters, like I've actually, you mentioned not talking to a girl because of maybe, you know, you're big. I've not talking to certain celebrities because of my stutter, because I was worried about, you know, being like, hey, yep, I'm gonna go ahead and go. You know,
yeah.
Actually, that happened one time. I had met somebody. I can't remember. I honestly don't remember who it was, but I went up to him and I'm talking, Jay. When I tell you, bro, not a single word came out. Just a whole bunch of sounds, and my face was tend to scrunch up too at times if I'm stuttering. So I was just like, hey, all right. And I walked off, bro. And I walked away, and I literally left work. I was so embarrassed, bro. I walked to somewhere just like, oh man, that's gonna be a good story one day.
Yeah, that's like a not a meme, but like a
man,
TikTok or something. Like
it was a
I
tick
think
and a
I
talk.
seen that on some Instagram or something where a guy was just like, oh well.
You know what, bro? I stopped and I just looked at them in their eye and I just walked off. I'm glad I don't remember who it was. I wish I could remember who I was talking to, but it happened. And I was just like, oh, yep, for sure. And I just walked off.
Another thing we talked about, just the lasting effect on the things that you do and how they're viewed by people you love or people that maybe you have some level of affiliation with. And you said like you make sure that whatever you put out on things like this on podcast or whatever that it's not it could embarrass your son 20 years from now, or it could embarrass your marriage.
Yeah, definitely.
Or you have a religious background and there's, elders that you respect enough to, you don't want to misrepresent yourself.
Correct. Yeah.
In their viewership.
Or
So
the family. Yeah, definitely.
So
yeah.
is that pressure, or is that
No.
just, you're just so, just confident, self-confident, you're yourself, that it's just smooth and it's not anything that you necessarily have to alter?
Yeah, I'm very grateful and very blessed that I can be as authentically Brazz as I want to be, and it's received exactly how it's meant to be. Again, like on camera with people, I don't have to. More so now in these later years, I don't have to really worry about how I present myself because I know exactly who I am and what I do, and regardless of what people see on social media or on screen or on film, I feel like they can kind of they should be able to kind of tell like, oh, okay, this seems like a genuine dude. If not, that's okay because you might not know me, but if you do know me, oh, that's Brazz, man. I know for a fact. And I'm not out here in the streets, as they say, or doing things in bars or in places where it would embarrass my wife or my son or even myself, man. I move how I move, and I'm confident in that.
Yeah. Okay. Has it been like that for a long time, or
nah? I could say
is that
definitely
something you developed?
Developed for sure, and living in New York helped out with that a lot. I always say living in New York really helped me become a man. I moved there in like my mid-20s and left when I turned 30, and that was a great lesson of how to present yourself and how to go about your life, but also ask questions about yourself, like who are we? Who is Brazz? What do we stand for? What do we believe in? So being away for that time helped out a lot for me to come back and be okay, cool. This is exactly who I am. This is what I believe in. This is who I choose to kick it with. The kind of people I kick it with, or everything. What I eat, everything is calculated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope because like when we set this up, most people ask, some people don't. They're just like, oh yeah, I'm down, or whatever. So I was like, yeah, like I said, I've watched a podcast interview. I've seen your Instagram content. So I see, okay, he's a family man. He's a Kappa.
Yeah, yes, sir.
He's worked in all these different areas.
Yes, sir.
So when I do go and reach out to people, I kind of tailor whatever we're gonna do to whatever I've already seen. So I wasn't gonna come in here and bring up 2010 Brazz or some information maybe I was fed, or maybe something Mike B might have told me. Shout out my cousin Mike B.
Shout out to Mike B, man.
Yeah. So and people speaking of criticism, people doing this, I do receive criticism, good or bad, and some people say, well, you know what, you need to spice it up a little bit. Mic check. Oh, I thought my mic went out. You heard that
too? Yes. Oh, okay.
I was like, hold on. Okay. People,
how I go out?
Yeah, people say you need to spice it up a little bit. You need to get girls in here to do this and do that and
do
the ratchet stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm not trying to do that. Like, I will watch that.
Yeah, right.
There's some people in Fresno who I want to do that because there's definitely a market for it. We've got the women who will embarrass themselves on camera and the guys who will embarrass themselves on camera, and I will watch that. So to whoever can put that together,
your job.
I will shoot it. I will shoot it for you. I will produce it for you. But that's not what I want to display. I'm not. That ends up putting you into their mix. If I bring 3 women on and 3 guys on, and then they're up there talking about all their business, their bedroom business, and I'm up here to hosting it and conducting it, Now I'm in their business.
Yep.
Now I might have a couple inboxes waiting on me. So I'm just trying to do responsible content, and I'm not doing that. It'll be easy to do that, and you will get the numbers, you'll get the attention. That's the easy road. But I was like, nah, I'm an art form type person. I'm not gonna take the easy road to try to get attention. I'm gonna try to do quality material.
Right.
And with that said, I've been offered. I've been asked like, why don't you act? Why don't you act? Right. And the same thing, like I'm an art form person. I'm not gonna go and feel like I'm entitled to a role or anything like that because I haven't put the hours in to even trying to act. Like there's people who've done small films and short films out here that I know, and I've never like felt entitled like, oh, why wouldn't they ask me to be an extra or anything like that? I've never done acting. So people assume that because you know someone that they automatically have to pick you. Yeah, bro. But if you haven't put any hours in, how do you expect to come to mind? So have you gone to any acting schools prior to accepting roles, or did someone just come and say, hey, Brazz, I think you might look good in this film or in this commercial or...
So I started. A lot of people don't know that my mom put my sister and I in classes when we were younger. I went to there was an acting class in Oxnard, California, called John Robert Powers that I did for a few summers, I want to say. But back then, the acting thing wasn't as serious because, kind of in our household, and again, I don't think my parents said this, but this was kind of how I felt, that the arts were a kind of a side thing, kind of like a hobby, if you will.
Yeah, like playing soccer or something.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But you're going to have to get a real job. You're going to have to get that 9-to-5 with that, that 401k, that tenure type career. And so I never really stuck to it because I didn't think that my parents thought that it was a real thing until you had mentioned about my mom getting me into broadcasting. I went to college studying music. I was a composition major, and then I realized like, oh, I suck at theory. Like theory is not my thing, and so going from that, and like I don't have a path, and like her telling me like you should do broadcasting, and so when she said that, I started doing the work, and so you mentioned the radio show. I had a friend of mine, Justin Copeland. He was still my homeboy to this day. A great jazz musician, trumpet player. He also does fragrances on YouTube. He's popping, bro. But he had a show on 90.7 KFSR, and so I was like, oh, how'd you do that? He's like, well, they asked me to. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I went in the studio and I asked the director, hey, are you looking for more honor personalities? So that was also practice. But I got in different ways, man. I didn't go your typical go to acting school your entire life just to meet the right agent, get on big. Like, nah, I kind of dabbled and kind of went back and forth a lot, man. But as far as acting classes and acting school, I learned a lot of my stuff in college on different sets and internships, and then after college doing the news thing. So I learned everything behind the scenes first before I got on camera. I wanted to learn sound, master control, directing, producing, grip. I wanted to learn boom mic, everything, graphics, and so I did that. And so once I learned everything in New York, someone had asked me like, "Hey, Brazz, are you down to do like a voiceover real quick for like a spot?" I was like, "Yeah, how you do that?" And they're like, "Oh, just go in this booth, read that script." I'm like, I read it, like, okay, cool, that was good. Try it again. So my schooling happened kind of in time.
Yeah.
So
just being in the field.
Exactly, bro. And so to move back to California, a friend of ours now, Joe P. Mercado, man, she reached out to me and my wife, was like, hey, we're doing this commercial for Chuck Chansey. Are you wanting to be extra? And I'm like, oh, yeah, that sounds cool. How you do that, So came back, and that's what really popped off my full-time acting career. Because from that shoot, I got the billboard, I got the bus. I remember seeing my bus pass by, I'd be like, wait, damn, that was from... I'm like, so I can do this full-time? And that's kind of when it happened. So from there, I would do more classes, voiceover classes.
Oh, yeah. You basically went back. It's like you had a bachelor's and you went and got your master's.
That's exactly what happened, yeah.
And then you went back and learned more.
Yep. And then I learned in the field as well. Like I learned on set a lot. I'm always asking questions. I'm asking actor, like, hey, where'd you go to school? Like, did you go to school? How'd you learn the DP? So I'm on set really looking at people because again, I'm privy to what they're doing behind the scenes, but also on camera. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's so and so. Hey, how'd you figure out how to? Oh, that's cool, man. So I'm never not trying to ask questions, man, and get better. Shout out to my brother Miles, man. Miles B. He's very popular right now in the acting scene. He's done stuff with Vince Staples and
Is that the dude? I think I seen you in a picture or somebody, and that's the dude that was he on Snowfall?
I can't, man. I wish I knew.
Light skinned cat?
Yeah. I wish I knew the exact show Miles was. I'm having a brain fart.
He played
Miles.
like
I'm
a
so
goon.
sorry. Yeah, he
on some show
right.
he was like a goon or something.
He does this thing, man. I wish I could remember the show right now, Miles. I'm so sorry, bro. But like it was so crazy to get into acting full time because I've seen Miles before in plays back in Fresno State and at CSU Monterey because he went there at the same time as my wife, who's a dancer. That's a whole different story. But I've seen people do their work, so I'm like, man, like, am I real? Because I didn't go to school all the time for acting. So there's been a bit of imposter syndrome, at times, but also just knowing like, my path doesn't have to look like her path or his path.
Yeah.
I can do my own thing.
Like you want to put the same work in.
Definitely.
Because if you see someone did so much work and then they've to your perception only gotten this much progress,
right? You
feel like, man, I haven't put half the work they put in.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's how, bro. And then I don't know if you did. So I did a game show a few years ago, $100,000 pyramid, and so I remember getting on the game show and being like, like on there and feeling how it felt to be on like primetime TV. From like, oh, I want this, but I don't want this in the game show. I want this like doing the actual, movie TV show type thing. So.
Okay, dope. So this is what I wanted to ask you though. This is how I'm gonna finish this segment of the show off. Mm-hmm. You were in New York working for the Breakfast Club, right? Mm-hmm. Your wife worked for, you said, some Russians?
Yeah, she was working for DigitalOcean, man. So it's a cloud hosting company. And what's cool about that is that her job was like literally cat a corner from my job. I could like see her building from, New York is huge.
So lunch was not an issue.
Lunch was awesome because
dinner dates.
She would get free catering, free food every single day from all these different types of places, man, from Colombian to Peruvian to Jamaican. I mean, I'm talking all the best food. So yeah, lunch was awesome.
So you guys decided, as a couple, hopefully, to leave New York City.
I'm talking salaries.
This dream life.
We had both gotten promoted.
This is dream. Like Breakfast Club, New York City, it's successful.
It's kind of
young to no come kids. Back to Fresno, California.
I know.
Where most people are like, I want out of here.
Yeah, man.
Especially people who are capable of going to the big city and making something of themselves.
Yeah.
You came back to Fresno and you said you came back to bring your knowledge back with you that you gained in the big city to what I'm assuming is to build up here.
Yeah.
But what would be like the ultimate goal for that? Like maybe you putting like together your own films or your own type of projects or just
like and people have asked me like, how come I haven't created my own stuff, man? So consciously I don't think that I possess the correct creative key to do some of the things that these directors are and people are doing on set like that. My wife can do that. She's a creative beyond creativity. I see how she works. I see how she put things together, and it's incredible. It's phenomenal to watch her work personally, but also, like I said, business, not businessly, but personally, but also in the business realm, I guess. And so I know the kind of unlocking that takes to create something as powerful as content or a movie or a show. What I wanted to do, I think I've completed that, but as you complete tasks, I feel like more tasks come. Like, you know what? Yeah. I did that, but I kind of want to stretch that out more.
You want to do something else? Like you accomplished it. You felt like you reached the ceiling.
Yeah. So and actually, our reason for coming home was for family, which is kind of crazy. We moved home to be closer to family, but since we've been back home, the family dynamic has kind of it's separated in a sense where our initial reason for coming home quickly changed around the 2020 era, and then we've adjusted and elevated from that to our creative careers. And
Right,
now,
right.
You know, different goals now.
Yeah, some people will be like, "What?
Yeah. I know.
You left
I know.
New York City?
Yeah, man. It was cool because
the Breakfast Club?
we got out at the right time, man. Because literally her job, like that whole company changed.
Okay.
And then Revolt with the Breakfast Club, as you know, they're no longer in partnership, so that changed as well.
Oh yeah, so that's smart because it's good to have your own plane instead of being a part of somebody else's.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So you didn't wait around for the plane to crash.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
No pun intended. No
man,
pun intended.
Definitely, man. Yeah.
You just went and got on another plane and took
really,
flight.
and shout out to God, man, because I feel like we always tend to move with our intuition. Crazy about the story about LA and leaving that company, LA, they shut down 6 months later after I had left and I was already in New York. So, you know, again, man, I feel like, you know, we're not religious, but we're definitely spiritual. And we believe that, you know, if you are tuned into like, you know, a higher power and you know, like we are, there's just, God has always moved us in different ways before the catastrophe like happens. And so with this now, as far as moving, man,
like he gives you the signs, like you can leave.
You know,
you can wait
I'm
around.
telling you, it happens. Jay, it happens.
You can wait
every
around
time.
for the storm, but
It happens. And crazy enough, now we kind of feel that shift happening now with us, like in what's going on with our country, and you know, we're just, you know, I've asthma.
You thinking
as well.
about moving out of the country?
Yeah, but you know, it's one of those things where like no one would know. Like they would. We're that family who you see us post a lot, and as far as the content, but you'll never know our personal moves until we're ready for you to know.
Right.
Like you're just thinking like Brazz and Amanda are out visit.
Did you do a gender reveal video?
No.
Or not video, but like a gender reveal party? Or?
No.
Good. I go to them, but I'll be kind of like, man, this is for girls.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. There are things that people will do and post. Like, for instance, I don't understand people that go on Instagram or any type of a platform and go like, you know, hey, I'm taking a break from Instagram. Just take the break. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, your reason for doing that for sure, but just go, come back. You know, you don't have to like.
They want people to keep track. And
that's
be
what
like,
I'm saying. I'm
He's
like,
been gone for 6 months,
I'm like,
but ain't even really been gone.
What's your reason?
Hasn't posted nothing.
What's your reason for telling people your moves? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've always appreciated, like, you know, there's certain gems that I've gotten from, you know, from pledging and from, you know, Kappa in a sense. But one of those things is like, you know, what's it? Discretion, you know what I'm saying? And just like, you don't have to tell people your moves, man. Like, now the New York thing, that was different because we did use that to kind of kick off our creative career, because from that move came our road trip and the start of like, before reels, you know, were a thing. We were shooting GoPro and things, you know, we were doing to kind of kick off like, you know, why did they leave in New York type thing. But our next move, no one's gonna know until you just happen to be like, I ain't seen Brazz and Amanda in a minute. Oh, we out in Costa Rica, you know. We're out in the Philippines, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So, I think a lot of people are considering that now. They're thinking bigger.
Man, it
used to be, I'm moving to the South. I'm moving to New York. Now it's like, man, I might move to Ghana.
Listen, man.
I might move to Argentina or something.
Ghana's on the list too, brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's definitely, And, you know, we'll continue to do our thing and to, you know, keep climbing as a family, but don't be surprised if one day you're like, I haven't seen it.
See a nice fancy reel and by the beach or something, nice view.
And we eating clean and looking better, our skin's better, because we know, like, it's wild, man, to not say woke, but it's crazy to wake up and realize, you know, your comfortability and what you're used to isn't necessarily what's good for you. Yeah. You know, and put that in whatever realm, you know, or cup you want to put that into. But, you know, like I said, the medications, the food, you know, going as deep as, you know, excusing what's going on politically, because clearly that's major, but just looking at what's happening foundationally, man, like to our country and to your families and to yourself, man. Like, do you really feel solid in your day-to-day life as far as like how you live and what you're eating and what you're consuming and what you're not being able to see, man. It's weird to go on TikTok and see like, oh, go on this page because they're trying to block you from seeing. Why am I being censored from seeing Germany protesting about America? Like, oh, because you don't want to see that because you know what I'm saying. So it's like kind of seeing the problem happen, go, oh, there's something going on. Well, I should probably be keen to what's happening around me, not just being like football. Like, I don't give a damn about no football, bro. Like, you know, people are dying, bro. I don't give a damn about a team. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that y'all, you know, it's bad y'all get, you know, by team, bro. You know, reality show. Like, I don't care, bro. Like, that's not us. We care about people and being okay, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Dope. Okay.
Sorry, that was a crazy tangent. My bad.
Okay, no, I feel you. So we're gonna go from that. We're gonna wrap that up there, and we're gonna go into the assignment, right?
Okay.
And I think you understand the assignment. Are you that you act? Are you familiar with like famous directors and stuff like that?
I know of a few.
Okay. And are you into comedy films and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is the assignment, and the assignment is basically I give you an assignment. It's like a verbal essay.
Okay.
Something tailored to you.
Okay.
And I think you should understand it. And you pretty much answer it. It's like improv. I'm pretty sure you're an actor. You're good at improv. It's like you good. This one's probably my toughest one so far, you know, because I thought of it while we were talking. Like, I didn't come prepared for this one. So what I want you to do is to come up with 3 actors and 1 director, a name of a show or movie, and the basic concept of a show or movie. The 3 actors I want it to be are comedians, 1 being female, 1 being a black male, and 1 being anything outside of black male. It could be white male, Asian male, Hispanic male. A director to direct this, and it could be a TV show, sitcom, primetime, or a movie, but they're from the 90s. The actors, at least. You could be it could be a modern day director. I know the director list is probably shorter. Okay. Actors from the 90s, but in modern day.
Okay. Damn.
So you got that? That's a lot, right?
That's a lot. Okay.
So the 3 actors is a male,
okay, so 3 actors,
a black male, a female of any nationality, and another male of any nationality, non-black. Okay. A director.
Like comedy though.
Comedy.
Okay.
Comedians.
Okay, got you.
Director. It could be a sitcom, a movie. Name it, and have a basic plot on it. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And I'm gonna try to help you out.
Right here? You want to do that in real time? Oh shit! All right, man. So, starting with the 3 actors, the first comedian that I thought of immediately was Jamie Foxx. Okay. Actually, I thought about him and or Mike Epps because those are 2 of my favorite comedians, present day as well as back then. But specifically Jamie Foxx because.
He's probably the better actor.
I mean, yes, but
he's not probably.
But well, it depends on the acting because again, Mike Epps can.
He has more range.
Man, I mean, yes, exactly. Like with Jamie Foxx, the music, the acting, the comedy, what he's able to do on camera at times. I'm just like, wow, man. Like, how are you able to be how are you Ray as well as I can't remember the character's name, but the character that he was in the Ali film, like Ali is
Baba
like,
Booey.
Man, when I tell you, bro, like, and then how was he able to be the violin? With Robert Downey. I'm like that's the same dude. You know what I'm saying? So him, so definitely him. As far as a woman, man, I'm trying to go through my list before I even speak up.
Somebody comes to mind for me.
As far as comedy,
yeah.
Who?
I don't know why, but Wanda Sykes.
Okay, I love Wanda Sykes. I was thinking about Miss Leslie Jones, man, because
okay, that's the taller lady.
I saw her. But I first saw her in a movie, National Security, with Martin Lawrence, bro.
Yeah.
When she held up, like, I'm like playing with my. I thought she was hilarious, man. So maybe Leslie Jones. That's the first person I can think of. I'm sure there's a list. I mean, Keke Palmer, of course. Like, but you said someone of like the 90s though, right?
Like back that, then. And did something in the 90s.
And then you said another male.
Yeah, male, and this is a
that's-
non-black male.
that's
Any
not-
other nationality?
Got you. Man. So I'm trying to go through like the comedians that I've seen. People that. Let me get back to that. As far as a director, I gotta go with either Jordan Peele or Ryan Coogler.
Okay.
Those
Yeah.
two specifically.
Dope.
Man, I have dreamt of being in a film directed by both of those men.
Yeah, nice.
Jordan Peele, because I really thought that he was just a dude who did skits. I thought he was just like the Key and Peele dude. I thought he was just like a funny guy until I watched Get Out, and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that this funny dude directed this multi-layered thriller, sci-fi, call it what you want, man. But then to see him do interviews after, I'm like, this is the same comedian dude who used to be so. And then of course, Ryan Coogler, man, just I love how he talks. He talks like you wouldn't think he was a director who's directed phenomenal films. You know what I'm saying? So those two definitely. The name of the movie, bro, I couldn't even tell you, man. But I wish I had thought about this, bro. I wish you give me this assignment so I could.
I should have. But I don't like the prep.
But I like that though. I like the.
It's like an on site.
Yeah,
thing.
like I would think. A title that comes to mind is Are You Serious? And mainly because I've been asked that before in different terms and in different lights and different ways, man. Like, are you serious? Being that it's a comedy, could it be a serious comedy? Or are they asking you, are you serious because it's a comedic film?
Yeah.
And the plot, man, I've always been into.
You think of the third actor.
I know. I gotta think of the third actor, man. Who? Man. Has to be a man from back then that's not necessarily
non-black.
That's non-black. Who do you got?
I was thinking Adam Sandler. He's probably one of my. Rest in peace, Chris Farley.
Okay, Chris. Yeah. Okay. So
Jim Carrey.
Will Ferrell. Yeah, Jim. I would probably say Will Ferrell or Jim Carrey, man. Will Ferrell is just freaking hilarious, man. Like I could see how people could think like he's like annoying, but like some of the things that he's done, bro, I'm just like, nah, he's funny. But Adam Sandler, man, he can ball, bro. I want to pull up in New York and just see him like ball, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that'd be dope. But okay, so. But what a cat! So Jamie Foxx, Leslie Jones, and Will Ferrell, man.
That's a good trio. That's like a blockbuster.
You know what I'm saying? It's something, bro. Because just think those three together, and then Are You Serious? Will Ferrell, Leslie Jones, and Jamie Foxx. Like Will Ferrell, I think would be kind of hard playing a serious factor. But Jamie Foxx could play both. You know what I'm saying? In that movie, like, so I think that'd be cool. And then. As far as the plot, man, I've always been into the post-apocalyptic type films and games. Mm-hmm. So I would love to see how these people would maneuver in a post-apocalyptic time that is very serious, but trying to bring out the comedy in that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's either zombie dead, or just bunkered down and just ready to shoot, but they're trying to find comedy. Like
a survival film, but it's funny.
But it's funny, bro. I think that'd be kind of cool, man. Like Walking Dead meets Last of Us, meets Dead by Dawn, and I think it
meets like Booty Call.
Meets Booty Call, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like imagine like them finding comedy. Like, damn. So everybody's a zombie. Like, does that mean we can't go to bodega and get a ham sandwich, you know what I'm saying? Just some dumb shit, you know what I'm saying? Excuse me, but I think
Jordan Peele would be best for that too. Man, he'll make it like he'll twist it up some type of way
and still make it funny, bro. Because there was like some funny moments in Get Out, man. Like, just
I always think of the one dude who was caught up in a spell.
Oh,
and they made a meme out of his face, and he has that hat, and he's just looking like he's just.
I love Keith Stanfield, man. I think he's a wonderful actor. All these actors I would love to meet and or work with, man.
Yeah,
you know
he's
what I'm
dope.
saying? But
I like his Atlanta.
Oh my god, Atlanta is one of my favorite shows ever, bro. Donald Glover is man, genius.
Yeah, that's a
I
dope
can't
show.
believe he's Childish Gambino, or he was Childish Gambino.
Have you watched the Vince Staples show?
I did because Miles on.
Do you think like you said you were what? You were
I watched it when Miles was on.
Oh,
it.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
Do you think like it kind of was not a poor man's version of Atlanta? I ain't gonna say poor man's version. It's Netflix. That's
Yeah, I think it
but
was.
it kind of was like in that vein. Almost.
I think it was. I think all of these musicians who are going back to their roots and making art in these different forms. I think it reminds me of like Marvel and the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, while Atlanta has its own story and while his show had its own story, I feel like they could still live simultaneously, you know, in the same realm.
Yeah.
Because it works. You know, I feel like, you know, especially when going back to Miles, man, that bank robbery scene, bruh. And it's like to know, bruh, but also to see him work on camera, it was a joy. It's just like, damn, man, like this is some real West Coast, like gritty type comedy and like a good time. And then you go to ATL, which also has its elements of the South and ATL. They both did a great job of highlighting their sections of the world and you know the U.S., but still bringing the art to life, man. I think it was beautiful.
Okay, dope. So, Are You Serious? A post-apocalyptic comedy, but
thriller.
that's like it's not quirky.
It's not
a quirky comedy
because it's serious, bro. Like there's you know it's post-apocalyptic, man. You know, I didn't find much comedy in The Walking Dead, but at times it would have us, you know, moments like, you know, but I feel like with these three,
I got one of them kind of sense of humors where I laugh at stuff that isn't necessarily supposed to be funny.
Hey, man, I think that's black people in general. I think we are great at
like
laughing
I
at
was
trauma.
watching the Harriet Tubman movie, right?
Oh, okay.
And not to down her, but she wasn't the most attractive, the woman who played Harriet Tubman the movie.
Oh, but I heard that the real Harriet Tubman was also kind of seen as that as well. Like
so, and then I remember when they were gonna sell her, and they were kind of like writing out her features, like as if you're selling a car, you're gonna be like, oh, it's this V8 motor, whatever, 20-inch rims. And they said like attractive or beautiful, and I was like, what?
Oh man, I mean, hey man,
I was like, nah.
you gotta find the you know, but which goes back to like Django, man. Like I love Django, and I don't really like slave movies just because it's hard to watch at times, but I watched it because it was Jamie Foxx and it was Samuel Jackson and DiCaprio as well, man. And just, you know, Quentin Tarantino films are always so extra with the cursing and like the blood and all kind of stuff. So, but to watch that too, it wasn't like, okay, this isn't a slave movie. This is it's got slave features in it, but it's really about, you know, this kind of a triumphant,
almost like a love story in a sense.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Definitely when Kerry Washington entered the scene, you felt it more as far as like, oh, he's really like here for like his wife and but yeah, man, it's hard to watch slave films, man, or movies that are kind of doing about that type.
Yeah, I think I said the last one I'm gonna watch was Harriet. I think I posted that on the internet, if I'm not mistaken. And I haven't watched. I think our 12, what is it, 12 Years a Slave?
Yeah.
I think one of those was, it had to have been Harriet was the last one I seen though.
What was
slave
the one,
movie.
What was the one, I can't remember Brazz's name, and it talks about him like freeing the slaves.
Is it, you talking about Nat Turner?
Yes, yeah, I wanted to watch that one, and I do plan on watching it one day, but I, you know, it's hard to watch, man, you know what I'm saying, because like that should happen, you know, like, that really... You know, and then of course in this present time, you know, with what's going on, it's just like, you know, people are really trying to revert back to certain things, and so even films about the Holocaust, man, like it's hard to envision that was so long ago when you see characteristics of like that stuff trying to come back as well. You know?
Right. Yeah. So we got Are You Serious?
Are You Serious?
Starring Jamie Foxx, Leslie Jones, Will Ferrell, directed by Jordan Peele.
Yes.
At a post-apocalyptic comedy.
Okay,
that's perfect. You passed the assignment.
By Brazz.
By Brazz. Written by Brazz.
Written by Brazz.
Brazz is somewhere in there. He's playing some type of role in there.
I'm just a background.
Supportive actor.
Yeah, I'm going to be like hidden, you know, like zombie somewhere, you know. In the bushes.
That's dope. That's dope. You knocked that out the box.
Thank you, man.
I ain't going to lie. You knocked that out the box.
I'm grateful, man. It's hard to improv sometimes. You know, it's hard to come up with someone, you know, the spot, man. But thank you for your help.
So we're going to go with the accountability now. So
okay.
the accountability segment of the show.
Okay.
And this is one of the toughest segments of the show, because when I look back on my first 2 episodes, I probably failed myself with things that were given to me, or I given myself, like my diet probably hasn't improved all that much. I did drink some coconut water before we started the show. You know, that's a step in the right direction.
It definitely is.
And I'm supposed to be doing some reading. I probably haven't read a word of any book.
It's all good.
I'm just being honest with my audience. I was supposed to go look up Miguel Arias.
Okay.
He's a city councilman.
He is.
You know, he was the face of destroying Art Hop.
Yes.
I haven't done anything on behalf of that either.
Met him a few times.
So right now my accountability grade is an F. I haven't even turned in one assignment yet.
Life
but
be lifing, man.
you know, I have to like be honest with my audience. So today, I'm gonna hold myself. And you familiar? Let me explain it to you. This is where you give yourself something you want the public, the people who are watching, to hold you accountable for.
Yeah.
Then you give me something that you want to hold me accountable for.
Okay.
And that's also to the public too.
Okay.
And I do the same. But I can also decline and say, you know what? I don't want that.
I'm cool off that. Yeah.
Yeah, don't hold me accountable for that. Like, I'm not even gonna waste your time, right?
Yeah.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start, and I recently purchased a nice camera that you guys see us on.
That's nice.
I spent a good amount of money on it, and I'm gonna hold myself accountable, and I want you guys to hold me more accountable to learn this camera and to learn more about photography and videography. There's a lot of terminology that I really don't know. I kind of have an idea by just by doing work on what's what. Like, this is for the lighting, this is for that, this is for that. So I want to be held accountable on furthering my knowledge on videography. I plan on taking some type of I have had memberships with CMAC. You familiar with CMAC?
Yeah, definitely.
And they have courses or little classes or seminars or whatever, to where they teach you more about, you know, videography and what, you know, whatever. I want to learn the terminology. I feel like if I can learn the terminology, then I can teach myself. So that's my main thing. Like, I want to know more about S-Log. I want to know more about aperture. I want to know more about the ISO and all of that stuff. So, yeah, like the audience, and then I've got other people who I'm gonna get with, and we're gonna just nerd out on it. Other videographers. And I think that's sometimes the best way to learn is like, it's like as a barber, I think the best barbers are those barbers who are cutting hair out of their garage when they were in high school. Because they learn stuff that a book can't teach you.
Exactly.
So I want to learn in the field as well as get some book learning as well. So I would like the audience to hold me accountable for that as well as you. And what I want to hold you accountable for is, man, this is tough. Usually I know, but I wanted to go into this episode more so just off the cuff, to not to push you out of Fresno, bro. Not to say, Brazz, get out of Fresno. I want you to leave the country and move, bro. You seem real serious about that.
Thank you, Jay.
And this might be like something way down the line, like. But
or tomorrow, who knows?
If I see you, if I see you in Fresno in 5 years, I'm like, Brazz, what's up, bro?
Nah, bro.
What happened, bro?
Yeah.
Why are you in Fresno still, bro? Why are you in America?
Right. There had to be a catastrophic event in my personal life for someone to see me 5 years from now in Fresno, 3 years from now in Fresno, really. Tell you the truth, man.
Yeah.
But thank you for that.
I want to hold you accountable for that, bro. I want to see you in one of these countries, because I see it a lot. I don't know. Like right now, my state of mind, I don't see myself leaving the country, but I can see myself doing it later in life.
Okay.
Because I feel like I have so much to do still here that I just can't up and just go somewhere. And I want to at least go. All the countries I've been to, I probably wouldn't live in. I've gone to Jamaica.
Okay.
I wouldn't live there. I've gone to the DR. I wouldn't live there.
Okay.
I've gone to Mexico. I wouldn't live there. Nothing against any of these countries.
Right.
It just doesn't seem like somewhere I would want to live. I would like to go and visit and be a tourist.
Yeah.
But I want to go somewhere more so like feel safe and feel like there's like, nice healthcare and, some hospitals and stuff like that.
Bro.
The country's under control.
Definitely.
Out here. So there's some places like Ghana, for instance. I've heard, Nico?
I do, yeah.
Nico went to Ghana some years ago, and he was like, man, I don't want to come back.
I've heard that same thing, bro.
And Nico's one of those kind of dudes who would do something like that, just up and go to Ghana. So I've always, from then on, I've kind of, whenever someone mentions it's Ghana, if I was stumbling through Instagram and it's Ghana, I kind of give it a look just to be like, oh, okay, it's West Africa off, off the coast. That's somewhere I always think about. South America, I probably wouldn't do South America. But Ghana right now, just from I wouldn't say I wouldn't do South America, but just with the knowledge I have now, Ghana's like one of the places I kind of see myself, if ever moving out of the country, a place I would go. Okay. So I'm gonna hold you accountable to that. Like I said, if you're still here, bro, if you're just running to you at Cocky's, you better just be visiting.
Yeah,
like
bro,
I don't,
right,
I'm like, are you visiting or are you still here, bro?
I mean, I've jumped ship before without telling nobody, man. So I look forward to doing that again with my family and just, like I said, when we do decide, and I do say when we do decide to,
not if,
no, it's not an if. It's definitely gonna happen. When we do decide to leave the United States. Like I said, I don't think my wife and I are going to make an announcement because that's not what we do, but there will be signs.
Yeah,
there will be signs, definitely.
Little breadcrumbs.
Little breadcrumbs.
Little breadcrumbs leading to the airport.
When you
with a little passport,
right? When you see my son by a beach. It's been a month. Like, why are they still out of town? Like,
what beach is that?
Where's
that in California?
Right. You don't see a geotag on the Instagram post. Like, oh damn, they done did it, man. So
yeah.
But nah, it's and honestly, bro, like it's exciting. It's nerve wracking. But it's also exciting because we've done this before. I mean, now it's on a bigger scale because we have our son, our dog, and we got to figure out. Okay, well now it's not just two of us. Now it's four of us. But are you ready for my accountability? To you?
Yeah. I'm ready. I'm prepared.
All right.
First, you gotta hold yourself accountable for something.
Okay, so I will hold myself accountable. You mentioned reading, and I want to get back into reading. It's hard to find time with our life and our lifestyle, and our son is with us a lot, man. Like he's homeschooled, and he's with us on set all the time. We're doing stuff like that. So, but I do want to read in some capacity, be it audiobooks, be it physical books. Because the last book that I read, I read it more than once. It's called Lynchpin. It's by Seth Godin, man. And that's actually one of the reasons why we left New York as well, because it talks about not being a cog in a system. Mm-hmm. And so, that's one of the kind of books I like to read. But I definitely want to read more as well. As far as eating and fitness life, of course, who doesn't want to be better at that? I am getting better at that too, because I'm back in my training mode. I'm training for the 2-season marathon. Okay. Again, in November. So, but as far as my self accountability, I want to make sure that I read more. I've been enjoying talking to people who are, who speak intelligently and who can revert back to quotes and phrases that they've heard and read. I'm like, man, I don't have a very good comprehension memory, even as an actor, but I want to read more.
Yeah, dope. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we all need to read. Yeah. Now for me,
For you, I would love for you to. I would love for you to research the places that you've actually visited, and see if you can find a factor about these places that would make you want to live there.
Yeah.
Like maybe you've been to the DR or even Jamaica, and the spot that you were in, you don't necessarily want to live in, because I don't want to live in. I don't know, Montana, but it was cool while I was there. I don't want to live there though, but I would definitely want to kind of pressure you into if there was God forbid a reason for you to need to dip out, where do you think that you would feel most comfortable?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like living your life outside of the U.S.
Right. So out of the places, like I said, I've been, Mexico, I just hear about cartels all the time.
True, but
so I'm like,
but that's Fresno and the Bulldog Gang. How often do you, you know what I'm saying? Like I've seen them, we've interacted, but I've never been in even being on Belmont or wherever in Fresno. Like we can go anywhere, just making sure you're smart about where you go.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's kind of the same thing.
That's what that kind of eliminates. I once went to I crossed the border on feet once, right? And we got pressed at the border by Border Patrol, whatever.
Yes, you did. That's
we
crazy.
got out of there.
Yeah.
And then for the 40-minute ride I took from the border to where we were staying, I wasn't nervous, but I was kind of like,
I've seen the shows.
like looking around, like, okay. We were riding with someone, of course, someone from there. So it wasn't like Uber, nothing. It was just a guy.
Yo, okay.
Just kind of standing around and a bunch of guys.
Oh, gotcha.
And they were just like, hey, we'll take you, whatever.
Oh,
so,
I'll tell you that, boy. I wouldn't do that again. They take your ass right up that mountain to the cartel.
So I was thinking, like, maybe this ain't the best side. Halfway through the trip.
I ain't seen Jay. Like, yeah, he went to Mexico, man. Caught somebody, caught him slipping out there. Bro.
Yeah, and it's Jamaica, like on our way from the resort to the city, you see all these houses, but they all look undone.
Little huts, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, they're missing like roofs. So I didn't see anything like nice.
Gotcha.
Maybe it was like you said, the part I was in.
Right.
And I'm sure they have nicer areas, but I was like, man, I didn't see any home I would even live in, you know? So that's what kind of like drives me away from. And when they were telling us about what is it? Is it Kingston? Kingston, Jamaica. When the Jamaicans were telling us about Kingston, they're like, "Yeah, man, it's real. It's like
crime out
it's
there.
It's like, yeah. So, isn't that like the capital or?
Yeah, I mean, but also because I kind of compare places to like, okay, if they're talking about the capital or this spot in their region, I'm like, all right, I hear you. Like, you know, I'm from Bakersfield. You know, in Bakersfield, there's an area called Cottonwood. You don't necessarily go down there if you don't have business down there, you know what I'm saying? But also, I imagine Kingston being as big as it is. I've never been to Kingston or Jamaica. Well, we're actually going this year, actually, which is kind of crazy. But, you know, if that is where it is, I would be away from that. You know
Yeah. So that's what stops me. I didn't see a nice house.
Gotcha.
We're driving down the coast, down the beach line. You think you would see something that's like, oh, that's tight. But you didn't see nothing I would live in. So, and then with the DR, they're talking about the DR. Actually, we went some places and they were building like some condos out there for like, looked like some nice condos for like 90,000.
Man, okay.
And I mean, the DR wasn't half bad, honestly, but they were just like, don't drink the water, which I mean, I'm not gonna drink faucet water, but they were like, don't even brush your teeth with the water.
Oh shoot, okay.
So I'm like, damn,
that's interesting.
You got to be that careful.
Yeah, like have water.
So imagine going to a restaurant and they on some we gonna get it. We gonna get faucet water, you know, and then you just drinking a whole bunch of. You probably can taste it.
Now you sick and you just like
you die. People die, and then they have kidnappings and all this other stuff. So I was like, man, this is crazy. It's not. It's nice though. There is where I did maybe see some homes that was cool, but it's just like you got to think of the other element.
That's real, bro.
Yeah, I ain't trying to go no places where they like, yeah, man.
Don't go there at 8 p.m. It's bad.
Don't eat the bread.
Yeah,
you know,
man. Right? Don't you? Yeah, the water is crazy, man. My homeboy went to Egypt and he was like, it's beautiful, man, but like the water, bro, gave us food poisoning. I'm like, damn, or gave us like called food poisoning, but the water made us sick. Like it was like crazy, like diarrhea. I was like, that sucks to hear that, man.
Yeah, and you shower in this stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so what
it's hitting your face and it seeps.
Right. What do you use? Yeah, I didn't think about that.
They gave us like, I mean, it was a nice ass resort. So of course they had hella bottles of water, but they're like, yeah, just use the bottle of water to brush your teeth with. Don't drink the water. Don't taste the water.
Don't heard that. That's crazy.
Don't even brush your teeth with water. So I was like, what? Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's wild. What? Like I'm curious. I'm like,
what's in the water?
What could happen?
Yeah.
Should we not jump in your water at the beach?
Oh, you couldn't even. Oh, right. Could you? Well, I mean,
we got in the water.
Yeah,
we got in the water, but still, it's
is it salt water or fresh water?
It was salty. We went on we went on like a yacht.
Okay.
Or a boat, whatever. Yacht sounds good though. We went on a boat, yacht.
We was on the
and
yacht.
It's an area for all the tourists who are on boats, and it's low water. It's probably like to my waistline. So I'm just in it, and of course you just kind of just splashing around, and then the water getting in your mouth. It was salty,
crazy,
super salty, crazy salty, like the saltiest. Yeah. So those are my issues with those countries. But yeah, I'm gonna look into it. Like I'm thinking Africa, you know, just on some motherland type. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
I heard Ghana specifically, man. Ghana and was it Morocco?
Morocco.
Yeah, maybe Morocco.
That's what like up the north, like closer to Europe, right?
Yeah. But yeah, bro. I mean, so yeah, I wanna read more. I think once you.
I'll receive. I'll take mine.
Cool. Likewise, man.
I need to check it out just to learn more.
Yeah.
Not being ignorant, not talking, because there's probably some people who stay in Mexico like, you're ignorant, you're blind to the facts. It's really nice out here. I know somebody I went to high school, a black guy. He's been staying out there. He speaks Spanish. He raps in Spanish now.
Say word.
Yeah, he's been
Okay,
staying out there for a
damn.
while.
That's hella cool, bro.
Yeah, so he was rapping in American in
Yeah,
English.
now he
While
rapping
he was here, he
that's-
moved to
that's
Tijuana, I
clean.
think he stays in, and now he's
Okay.
rapping in Spanish.
Oh, that's dope.
So
as
imagine
well, yeah.
that. So for sure, I accept that. Yeah, don't pay attention to the camera or that light. It's all good. So appreciate you, man.
Nah, thank you
Now
for
this
having
is
me, bro.
this is where we wrap it up,
Okay.
and this is the gold standard. You know, the currency of kings. You know what I'm saying? We don't give out flowers here. We give out gold bricks, right? You know, the value stays. Flowers die. You know, if I gave you some flowers, they'd die by Wednesday. And it's not, and as men to men, it's not very masculine for us to give each other flowers anyway.
It's not.
You know, so I came up with the gold standard.
I like that.
I give out gold bricks. You know, the gold brick will maintain its value. You can get one gold brick, you can get another one, right? And why I'm giving you this gold brick is the most thing I'm impressed with is that you left New York. You left New York. You know, that's unique because I don't know too many people. Usually when people leave, just go from places like New York and come back home or Houston or wherever they're at. If it looks like they're living the lifestyle that it looks like they want to live, or most people would want to live, and then they come back to Fresno, I'm thinking like it's got to be something in the mix.
Yeah.
Like something, there's a part of the story that's not being told.
Man.
And it's never my business to
Right.
even like inquire.
Right.
But I mean, talking to you, like I don't sense that like
Bro, I have
some like
zero to high,
like
bro.
Charlemagne
Yeah.
got mad at you one day
Hell,
and,
man, nah,
and kicked you out the
I'm
studio.
telling
Like,
you, bro, we had the best time out there, but we just, again, God and that like intuition, we just knew it was coming to a close.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you feel that movement, and you can't ignore it, man. And we just, and when that happened, things just kind of got turned off for us. It was just kind of like, I'm not so into, you know, not necessarily my job, but I'm not, you know, it's a facade, man. Like it was cool. I won't say it wasn't cool, man, but it just got to a point where I was like, yeah.
once you get a taste of it, you realize
I came
I
outside.
experienced that.
I mean, bro, I got to work, I worked personally with Donald Rollins, you know, from like Chappelle
Yeah.
Show. Like, and that was my
Ashley
dude.
Larry.
Yeah, bro, cool ass dude, man. But like, again, childhood Brazz was like, man, you working with Ashley Larry like
Yeah.
every day, just like, you know what I'm saying? Like
You
that's,
like kind of grow out of being a fan, you know?
it's work, bro. It's
Yeah.
it's just work, man. And when you get tired of a job, you don't want to be that anymore. You either stay because of complacency and well, I need money, or you decide, okay, cool, I want to take my talents and move, you know, to South Beach.
Okay,
you know what I'm
okay,
saying?
yeah. The gold brick is for your foresight, like even knowing when to leave LA, knowing when to leave New York, and knowing when to leave the United States.
Thank you, my boy. Thank
So
you.
having that foresight's important. It's like seeing the forecast.
Yeah.
See, looking up at the sky and say, it's gonna rain, and it's gonna
Right.
come from that way.
Right.
So what I'm gonna do is go put my jacket on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take all my belongings inside the house and protect them.
There you go.
And that's that. You know, foresight is very, very important. You know, you can get far with foresight. So my gold brick is because of your foresight and the moves you made,
Thank
the
you, bro.
unusual moves you made. Leaving New York, coming to Fresno, I mean, that's the equivalent of leaving Fresno and going to like a foreign country.
Right.
So like you've done it already.
I'm
You know,
grateful,
you've
bro.
already
Yeah.
done it. Like you've done. I don't know anyone who would do it. You know, so I know that it's more meaning on your end than just being on the scene. You know.
Thank you, bro.
And you have a good family. So that's what probably makes it easier too. When your world isn't actually the world. It's like the people.
Right.
You know, so it's like as long as I'm with these people, we can go anywhere.
Anywhere.
That's and
get
then
it,
of course
yeah.
your safety and then well-being comes into mind. So
Definitely.
your foresight, bro, you know that.
Thank you, bro. Thank you for that, man.
out there and do some real shit. So dig that.
So we gonna end it there. You know what I'm saying? If you made it this far, I appreciate you, my
Thank you,
man.
man.
I didn't do this intro at first, and I'm working on it, but I have a set intro, so I'm gonna do it as the outro.
There you go.
You know, I think support is like respect; it should be earned. So if you like what you saw today, hit that like button, that matches your emotion, and if you want to spin the block, hit the subscribe button. This is the Great Expression Installment 3 with my boy Brazz.
Come on, man.
How can they find you, Brazz?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram, Book Brazz. You can find me, Yeah, mostly Instagram. Book Brazz, man. And
Book
then-
Brazz.
and then, of
Everything's spelled how it's supposed to be spelled.
BOOKBRAZZ, man. And of course, my wife's my company, Rom_creative, RAHM_creative. And then you be seeing me in a few short films coming up, man. So
Okay, dope. I seen a little bit of the previews that you shared on Instagram, and they're definitely legit. Like you said, they have a huge crew. It's not
Grateful.
it's not 3 homies. You know, it's like how many people you say?
So the film that I just shot in San Pedro is called A Price to Pay. That was probably a good 30 people on set, want to say, between actors and crew. And then this last one yesterday, I think probably this is kind of about the same thing. Like it's always a blessing when people are serious about the vision, because it makes you as an actor be like, okay, cool, no one's here.
So
like,
you gotta kind of bring your game.
lock in, you know. what I'm saying?
Yeah. Brings the best out of you. So dope.
does, bro.
Book Brazz.
Book Brazz.
And what's the name of the company? You and your wife?
Rom_creative.
Rom Creative. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the great installment. I always say that. This is the Great Expression Installment 3, and we out of here.
Then you better go out there and do some real